Based on the data released by Central Bureau of Statistics, Indonesia's trade balance experiencing deficit as much as $25 billion in the first quarter in 2019. As it is known, increasing deficit caused by the extreme downfall of national export performance by 10.8% month to month or 13.1% year on year. And in this segment, I want to present to you some data about Indonesia's trade fluctuation. The first data will be about Indonesia's trade balance during President Joko Widodo's first period from 2015 to be exact to 2019. The trade balance from 2015 to 2017, the trend was actually positive, but in 2018 to the September 2019, the trend was decreasing. On the other word, Indonesia is experiencing a deficit. In 2018, the deficit reaching $8.7 billion, and so far until September 2019, the deficit of Indonesia trade balance reaching $1.9 billion. One of the challenges that will be faced by Jokowi Amin administration is to increase Indonesia's export performance. Since 2018, Indonesia's trade balance experiencing deficit. Even in 2018, Indonesia experienced the worst deficit in Indonesia's trade history. Indonesia's trade deficit also predicted to happen in the end of 2019. From January to September 2019, the deficit reached $1.95 billion or as much as 27.23 trillion rupiah. One of the main causes of Indonesia's trade deficit is the high amount of imported oil and gas. And to see these statistics, let's check the next data. This is oil and gas deficit trade balance in million US dollar. As you can see, the number was raised or inclined significantly from 2017, September 2017 to September 2018, from 495.4 to 970.3 million US dollar. In September 2019, the deficit or oil and gas deficit trade balance of Indonesia reaching 761.8 million US dollar. The high demand of imported fuel had become one of the reasons of national oil and gas trade deficit. Based on the data from Central Bureau of Statistics, Indonesia's oil and gas trade deficit up to September 2019 inclined 42% to 1.43 billion US dollar. This is the 55th deficit that happened in a row. The needs of fuel that cannot be fulfilled by domestic oil refineries had pushed government of Indonesia to import oil in the last 4.5 years. The value of gas and oil import from January to September 2019 reached 24.97 billion US dollar. Meantime, the export performance only can reach 14.23 billion US dollar. China is one of Indonesia's important trading partner, but unluckily, Indonesia's trade balance with China mostly experiencing deficit. Let's check the data. This is Indonesia and China trade balance in billion US dollar. Yes, from the trend. Okay, the blue line indicate for the export value, and the red one indicate for the export value between Indonesia and China. The trend, of course, the import outnumbered the export value. As you can see from the data from 2013 to 2018, the data is taken from comtrade.un.org. September 2019. Indonesia's trade agreement with China keeps experiencing deficits since 2008. The increased deficit caused by the demand on imported products from China outnumbered Indonesia's export to China. The number of imported products from China to Indonesia in 2008 increased by 78% to 15.29 billion US dollar. Indonesia still experienced deficit in 2018. There is a fluctuation of Indonesia goods and services export and import. To have a deeper view on this, let's see the next data. This is the percentage of products and services import and export. The purple one indicates for the import, and the yellow one indicates the export percentage. This one is taken from the Central Bureau of Statistics. And Indonesia's trade agreement with China keeps experiencing deficits since 2008. The increased deficit caused by the demand on imported products from China outnumbered Indonesia's export to China. The number of imported products from China to Indonesia in 2008 increased 78% to $15.29 billion. Indonesia is still experiencing deficit in 2018. There are some strategic efforts that can be implemented to improve Indonesia's trade balance. What are those? Let's check the next data. This is the list of the strategies that can be implemented by Indonesia's government to improve Indonesia's trade performance. The first one is increasing the number of non-oil and gas exports, decreasing raw material import by slowly produce its substitutions, and then we can also develop bilateral or multilateral trade diplomacy and decreasing oil and gas imports. Based on the data released by the Central Bureau of Statistics, Indonesia's trade balance experiencing deficit as much as $25 billion in the first quarter of 2019. As it is known, increasing deficit caused by the extreme downfall of national export performance by 10.8% month to month or 13.1% year on year. Well, hopefully all of these strategies can easily implemented by government so Indonesia's trade balance can improve swiftly. And stay tuned on market headlines because we'll be right back after the break.